So,
True.
I assumed you explain all the events that happened while you were in Setessa to Metamai from your own perspectives.
Yeah, the basics. Went there, fought a Hydra, met the demigod, fought the
usual
demigod's
shit.
battle for them, stopped the Hydra from being summoned, all that fun stuff.
It's great.
Yeah.
Think about a book as well.
Got discriminated against.
Yeah.
And that sounds like a personal problem.
Same
You
as
got
Sigma.
discriminated against too.
Still sounds like a personal problem. I was not discriminated against, and I had a wonderful time.
I wonder why.
Okay, we can talk about the Amazon Society later.
So,
I think
Metamai...
that gives them too much credit for their ability.
What is this? A satyr putting aside talk of women? We're literally done in that place, and we don't have to go back, because honestly, the further away I am from the Skull Veil, the better. Let's go ahead and continue with what we're trying to do.
So you converse with...
that's it.
You tell Metamai, and he just kind of nods as all of you are talking. It seems like they had knowledge to summon the Pelukranos.
Yes, that is what they were doing. Thanks for that observation.
I was musing to myself. Did you manage to...
He's
Let the
thinking
Sphinx talk.
Did either of you manage to reclaim any of the vials that was being poured in the lake? Hunter, you mentioned you stopped 2 of them from doing so.
Yes.
Would any of us have grabbed one of
have
those?
them in my inventory.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, he has. We almost lost one, but that's because we killed him, and he almost rolled into the lake.
I'll go ahead and place them before Metamai.
He'll kind of paw at them, and he'll say, I'll call upon a friend to fully examine these, to find out what they are. He kind of pulls up one of his massive paws. I don't have the proper abilities to do so myself, but we'll analyze these and find out what exactly this summoning ritual was using to pull Pelukranos to this world.
Over the course of our travel... Oh, wait, no, we skipped over the travel. I wouldn't have had time.
Yep.
I was thinking I might just want to try identifying one of the vials.
I mean, you can still give it a try if you want. Just kind of
Sure.
slide over and grab one of them.
Yeah, for giggles. I'll do it. So the pearl ring on my finger is gonna glow as I kind of like grab onto the vial and like twirl it about in my hand. And I'm gonna cast Identify.
Let me read Identify once again.
It's a ritual, so it's gonna take 10 minutes.
Well, you can cast it as a non-ritual if you want.
I didn't prepare it today.
Okay. Then it'll take 10 minutes.
Magic
Yep.
or some other magic?
11 technically, if we're gonna split hairs, but whatever.
So, with the 10 minutes pass as you discuss more, the vial doesn't seem to be inherently magical, nor do the contents seem to be inherently magical.
Okay.
If you want to like open it and check it, the contents that way, I would need a nature check.
Interesting. I can do that.
Alright, go ahead.
I'm an intelligent boy. I'm sure I'll manage this. I'm going to apply my Oracle's Insight for 1d10.
Okay, go ahead.
Because fuck that roll. 1 sec. Aha!
Nice.
17.
Yeah, 17 on the nature. Noted, Ruby. 17 on that nature. You take a look, you open up the vial, you pour just a little drop of the contents on your hand, and the smell, this acrid smell of blood, hits your nose, and it's familiar. This is Hydra blood.
Oh.
You know,
I'll say that.
Or at least that is an element that you recognize. it's not fully just that. There are several other elements, but the strongest one that hits you is the smell of Hydra blood.
I also still have that pure Hydra blood from before, so I'll compare maybe.
So that's about the only information you get from this. And Metamai just kind of looks, and he has a curious look on his face, and he takes a deep smell. Hydra blood. I may have an idea of at least one other ingredient in there, but I'll wait and make my statement when I know for sure. He kind of paws the vials a little to the side as he looks on. What other business are you here in Militus for?
Well, you're not the only one who would like to know about what just happened, so we're going to go ahead and be speaking with a contact of mine.
He nods. I thank you for your information. Daxos has also given me some information, if you wanted to hear.
I always like to hear information. Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm assuming he's moved from the city as to avoid a certain someone hunting him down.
Well, shortly after you went to Satessa, him and Gareth traveled to Akros to try and calm some of the unrest within the lectoi there. He actually sent me a message yesterday. He said that Onyx's niece is gathering a small political force with many of the soldiers under her belt.
Do we know who Onyx's niece is?
I believe y'all got a name. Let me double check. Let me read back in here, because I know it says her name. You would have gotten the name Taranika.
That sounds familiar, yeah.
She is the current regent in Akros.
Mm-hmm.
So he's just saying, it seems that war is slowly beginning to brew in Akros. So our enemies are probably looking to make some kind of move shortly in that time span, if war will break out in Akros.
Alright. Any word of that other group? The Order?
The Order. I have gotten no info back. The only person I could potentially speak to about the Order would be Kaidel, who I know you're quite familiar with Tassus.
Right.
But she has rebuked every opportunity for me to speak to her.
Oh, well then that works out. Because that's... yeah.
So, should we not mention you in front of her, or do you not know why?
I have no idea why she is rebuking my questions towards her.
Okay.
Well, you know how it is with Crewfix, so we'll see what we need to do.
Quick question.
Yeah, go ahead.
How much do you know of two particular titans?
You are speaking of
Ooh, yeah.
Uro and Croxa.
Yes.
He kind of nods.
The ones that happen to be no longer guarded by a certain someone.
You can't tell for certain, but if a Sphinx would be smiling, you would think that he is smiling right now. Uro and Croxa are fighting their chains. That I do know. As for the full reason as to why them and their brothers are striking against their chains, I do not know. I do know that the person who had been guarding them for untold eons did leave recently. And that could be a part of it. But I also know
Who was guarding them?
Who was guarding them, Galteus?
I don't know who that. I don't know.
Gotta love when a god returns to their own
yeah, actually, Tassus would
position and happens to leave some things behind.
Tassus would actually 100% know that Clothius was doing something before she became a goddess.
Yep.
He just says, I also know that they will rattle at their chains when there is a great change coming to Theros. This is not the first time that they've stirred, but this is the most dangerous time, as this time they have actually managed to break some of the restraints on their prisons.
Anything about how to stop that, aside from relying on the gods?
At this moment, all we have is relying on them. It was the god's strength who put them in these prisons originally, but they have been biding their time, only growing stronger.
That's fair. That's fair. It's how it always is lately. Awesome.
Do you perchance know what's been going on with the sea recently, Madame Aya?
That I can give you a clear answer on. Something woke the night that the city was attacked. Timurit's actions caused something ancient to stir. All it is currently doing is slowly waking. But if the events can unfold and let it go back to rest, Tromocratus will not awaken.
Is that a familiar name to any of us?
Deianira and Tassus, you can give me history. You would be the only two who... Oh, no, Zulhus also can.
Yeah, I was about to ask. What about Zulhus?
Zulhus, Tassus, and Deianira. Zulhus, you can do it with... never mind, I was going to say you can do it with advantage.
Hell yeah, brother.
I'm sure I know this story.
Zulhus and Tassus. Tromocratus is the name of an ancient kraken.
That's not good.
Nope, not good at all. It has been sated and resting deep in Meletus's bay. In fact, there's myths that Tromocratus actually made part of the Bay of Meletus, part of the harbor, in a battle between it and another kraken. It kind of carved out a section of the land in its fight. This thing is ancient and massive, and Zulhus, your patron, knows it well.
I'd imagine.
And he knows that if that thing is to wake, it's dangerous.
What's with ancient beings and getting resurrected all of a sudden? First there's Pelucranos, then there's this kraken.
When Theros is being shaken, many things that lay dormant begin to roust when there is great change and great conflict coming to the realm. Someone.
It seems like a case of when it's raining, it's pouring.
Yes. Someone is causing some kind of great change. I don't know who or what it is, but it is something that will rattle Theros to its very core. But someone has started this wheel in motion, and it will only gain momentum until it either destroys Theros or someone stops it.
Awesome. Exactly what I was hoping to hear. That's wonderful news.
Don't lie, Tassus. You were hoping there was going to be an easy solution.
I'm sorry. How long have we known each other? I'm pretty sure you should recognize my sarcasm by now.
What is sarcasm? I know no such thing.
Enough said.
Yeah. Meanwhile, Dionera would ask Medomai whether signs seem to point to that other organization that was trying to resuscitate Polukranos as the arbiters of this change we are seeing in the realm.
That is a good question. And currently it seems like they are the most likely to be bringing about this change. Only someone wanting to hide their actions behind the summoning of something that's great could potentially be what is the wheel in motion.
So all of this is a feint, perhaps, for what they're actually trying to do.
Potentially.
Well, it's a pretty good strategy, honestly. Cause a bunch of chaos and then, you know, take what you want.
Except this
I hear it
group,
works very well.
The Order of the Broken Eye, they're not supposed to be anything besides just watching. At least that's what I've been told.
Yes, we already sussed out that these are two different organizations, and the Broken Eye is watching, yes, but there is this other organization that we
Oh, is that what you're implying? Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, Dionera was asking about the group that had those pendants.
Yeah.
Right.
Black Spears. Upsetters of balance. Slayers of the sun.
So, any more questions for Medomai?
No, unless we're entitled to some sort of monetary reward for what we've done.
Give us money. Nah, Dionera.
No, I wouldn't ask up front. I would kind of look expectantly though, but in the meantime, we can move on
to the Temple of Krufix. I don't think I've ever been to that part of the city. What's it like, Tassus? Tell me all about it.
I've only been there, or have I been there?
You have been there. That is actually where you received most of your training as an oracle.
It's all right. I don't exactly remember when I arrived there. It was under the most negative of pretenses, so you know. We'll be able to see it. You'll be able to see it for yourself in a second.
Yeah.
Oh, goody.
You travel through the city. You actually kind of pass around the nobles' quarters where your friend Mikhail is, and you come across the temple. It is actually a kind of small building. I actually think there's a picture of it in Krufix's.
Yeah, but my understanding, people don't typically directly worship Krufix, right?
There are some, but it is not a very large religion. I thought there was a picture of his temple in his card art, but I was lying. I was mistaken. You come across this smaller building, smaller than the building you left with Metamai. This seems to just be a very simple kind of white stone building. It's nowhere near as elegant as many of the buildings you've seen in Melitus. It looks very practical. And Tassus, as you go and open the door, a familiar voice greets you. As all of you enter, you see this woman sitting at a very simple stone throne. Very calm. She's looking upon you. Very matronly almost. Why is it not importing into the file? There it goes. As you see this beautiful woman with long black hair and these two ephemeral arms that are hiding her eyes as this blue light comes from them. And even though her eyes are covered, when she turns to look at each one of you, you can feel this hard glare set upon each and every one of you. With
I don't like that.
one of the arms in her lap, she raises a hand and gestures for all of you to come in further.
Nice to see you in person again, Cadell.
She gets this kind of smirk on her face, and she says, "Yes, it is good to see you again, Tassus. As well as your friends, Deianira, Ragnai, Zolhus, Galteus, and some of you hear a sound. It invokes this kind of feeling that, Hunter, you would recognize as your true name."
Ooh, fancy.
Just a resonating sound. Okay, understood.
Do I recognize that as a name?
You would
I
know
mean,
that,
obviously, it would be referring to Hunter.
yeah. You know that Nyxborn don't necessarily have names, that they have a title, kind of.
I mean, when you're basically a concept personified, things get weird.
Yeah. She addresses all of you and she says, "Where shall we start our discussion? There's much to speak of, and I know all of you have many questions. I cannot promise that I'll answer every one, but I'll try and answer those that I'm able to."
Sounds like par for the course.
I have a question. To pick up where we left off with Medomai, who is the organization who is trying to resurrect Holukranos? I think I heard something from Tassus that you might know a bit more about them.
I have a few faint ideas, and they are more concrete than any other evidence that we have. I believe that they are followers of a certain adventurer. This woman slew Xenagos and refused to let the underworld take her. From what I've been hearing from some Eidolons that have come and given me information, she is amassing a following in Erebos' realm. But I do believe that if any group wants to show that as a symbol of who they stand with, I believe that is who they are aligned with. there have been some rumors that I have yet to be able to confirm that she has some kind of weapon in her possession.
Ooh, does it have to be a black spear?
Some sort of shadowy halberd?
I want to smite you both right here, right now.
Ooh, show her the pendant, show her the pendant, show her the pendant.
It would indeed be a spear of shadowy origins. I don't know exactly what it is, as Erebos has given no claim to aiding her. Nor would he have some kind of weapon in his possession.
I kind of make that, like,
Could I get a name for her?
goofy face. I'm like,
For the adventurer.
Yes. Give me her name.
Hey,
so
Buddha.
that I may have power over her.
I know you've been dying to say it. What is her name?
Nahiri.
No!
That's
I thought it was Nahiri. I knew it was gonna be wrong. That's why you should have said it.
Look, I don't even play Magic the Gathering, and I've read enough to know who it's supposed to be.
Who is it,
Are you
Daryl?
sure it's not Nahiri?
It's Elspeth.
It is Elspeth.
Why do I always get those two confused?
Because they're both basic white characters. White as in
That's
the
true.
mana they're aligned with, not white as in their skin tone. Don't cancel me, please.
No, but they're also basic
Head
bitches.
Alright.
I was about to get offended, Tachi.
Because Magic has such cut and dry, like, definitions, and they're color based. And it's so dumb. But no, it is indeed Elspeth that she says. Quick, out of character comment. She is an adventurer. She is not what she actually is. Those things don't exist in this world. They are accidents of magic that ended them up here. That is not an ability that people have. Planeswalkers don't exist. You shut up. Anyway, so yeah, she says that it is Elspeth, the adventurer, who killed Xenagos. Who is potentially
Interesting.
either a part of this order, or this is who they're choosing to follow.
Cool. All right. So, what does that mean? Is she trying to get out of the?
She has... Sorry, I gotta get back in the voice.
Yep.
She already has Erebos' blessing to leave. From there, I don't know what she is doing. I have an unconfirmed statement that she aims to kill Heliod.
That seems like a lot. I mean,
Oh.
Well,
That's why that thing looks like his spear.
Heliod has gotten on plenty of people's nerves, so I'm not surprised.
Well, he is the one who ordered and then carried out her execution. I understand her wanting of revenge against the god of the sun. But whatever she is doing is causing a lot of struggle in Theros. I don't know how, and I don't know exactly what she is doing. I don't have perfect eyes into Erebos' realm, but it is something dangerous.
how soon? Like, how soon will she act?
She kind of shrugs.
Whatever she's doing, she shouldn't be able to continue it. But
She shrugs. She's still in Erebos' realm, so many of the gods choose not to act. Erebos lays a lot of control in his dominion. Any god who chooses to try and act there without his permission stands to upset the very pantheon.
Sounds exactly like what I'd expect.
Indeed.
Well, that leaves us basically with nothing to do, you know? Our thumbs are up our asses in regards to that. There's not really anything that can be done at that point.
Well, I'm sure we'll find something, Tassus.
Well, there's a very obvious way in which we are lacking to deal with these, though. Every side that we are dealing with is extremely powerful and well-equipped, and we cannot say the same.
Well, I mean, we could tell that much. I mean, I don't think of it. If this was going to come to blows, I'm sure it wouldn't be us striking those blows. I can guarantee that.
We're kind of the moles at this point, yeah. But, Kaidel, I have a second question.
Go ahead.
Reference was made to a certain book we've overheard the black-robed people of the Black Spear talking about, and Tassus, I believe, seemed to think it was important that we retrieve it. However, that wizard did get away, and now we have no idea where he is.
I feel like if we can get to that, then we'll be able to know what the plan is, if anything.
I think I may know of what book you speak of.
I mean, obviously it has to be something of great power if it has a ritual to summon a dangerous Hydra beast.
It's not necessarily knowledge of that. She conjures this image in front of you, and it looks to be similar to the leather-bound tome that wizard had, that he was consulting while the ritual was going on.
Similar but not the same?
You didn't get the best look at it, so you can't tell if it's perfectly that book.
Sure.
There is an old story that there was a mad oracle of Keranos. This man was driven insane by the dreams given to him by Keranos, and he took it upon himself to try and solve whatever riddles were in these dreams. And he wrote them down. Some say that what he was writing down were the words and whispers of the god himself. Some say he was just insane. But no one was ever able to reclaim his book. It vanished along with him one day. I believe it's this book that man has. If there's one god who could rival Krufix in knowledge, it would be Keranos. So this tome seems to have been reclaimed by some very dedicated individuals to find it. Considering that the goal of my predecessor's predecessor was to attempt to find it. And with Krufix's knowledge at our back, he was unable to find it.
So, perhaps if we locate this book, we will be at the dead end again, because it is filled with the ramblings of a madman.
Or...
So, just to check here, we essentially have a bunch of leads that go nowhere currently.
We don't know what that book truly has. And there is one solid lead you can follow up on if you feel like following this. You, as free agents, and not as the direct demigods and chosen champions, blessed by the gods,
excuse you?
could enter Erebos' realm.
As in go into.
She nods.
Sounds rather dangerous.
It is very dangerous. There is a lot of threats. From what I understand, Timurit has returned home to gather an army to try and attack Daxos. So, the demigod to Erebos is there. Erebos himself never leaves his realm, in addition to the thousands of other demons and powerful undead lie in his realm, and whatever followers Elspeth has gathered.
You're not really selling it to us very well. I have to make that observation. But while you were rambling, you did remind me. What can you tell us about Daxos? Because we've met 2 of them so far.
What do you want to know about Daxos?
Essentially, my question is twofold. First, who is Daxos? And secondly, who would want to impersonate Daxos in order to kidnap Nixonax?
Daxos is a child of Melitus.
Someone was impersonating Daxos?
Oh, you weren't around for that, were you?
That's a tall feat, considering that's Heliod's champion.
Well, he did a damn good job.
Yeah, that's... I mean, if I may, just straightforward, yeah. Daxos is the chosen one by Heliod. Blessed with all Heliod's powers and all that fancy shit. The reason why he can strike down with that spear.
You have the two mixed. Gareth is the one blessed with Heliod's spear, his chosen current mortal champion. Daxos is Heliod's demigod, blessed with the true power and not needing to use Crusaor.
I need to brush up.
That is a new development. I don't think I've heard that before.
Daxos was a child of Melitus and grew up an oracle. I actually need to double check who he was an oracle to, but he was an oracle. He was an oracle to Heliod. He acted in Heliod's choice until he met a young adventurer, a woman by the name of Elspeth Tyrell. He joined up with her to try and stop some of the events here on Theros. Hordes of Minotaurs attacking Akros, and he assisted her in attempting to stop Xenagos. Unfortunately,
I already hate her.
Unfortunately, Xenagos slew Daxos. And in a fit of rage, Elspeth called upon Heliod's justice, in which he blessed with her a spear by the name of God's End. She used it to kill Xenagos in revenge for Daxos' death. And in return for killing Xenagos, as Heliod asked of her, Heliod killed her and sent her to the underworld.
This is quite the little cycle of death, isn't it?
Wait. Wait. Does Elspeth know Daxos is alive again?
No. He had left the underworld long before she became coherent. Daxos was actually cursed to wander this world as a return for a while, until Heliod decided to forgive him of whatever sins Heliod felt he had committed. So Heliod raised him, the first of the demigods to come to this realm. When Heliod raised Daxos as a demigod, many of the other gods felt that this was a challenge to them, specifically Erebos. So some of them raised up champions and demigods. Nilia has Renata, Erebos has Timurit, Thassa has Caliphate, and some of the others have a few. I believe Karametra is actually going to be naming Anthusa as her demigod here shortly. This is a new development on Theros. Never before has anything like this ever happened. As for who would attempt to impersonate Daxos, and she looks Deianira directly in the eyes, you know at least one person who would want to impersonate Daxos. You are well acquainted with him.
Deianira plays dumb. I don't really know anyone with the power to copy a demigod. All the people I know are here in Meletis.
I am not speaking of you or anyone, any mortal you know. And in your mind, Deianira, you hear, but you do know what he is capable of. And I will leave that at that. You know exactly who I'm talking about.
I know who you're talking about. Very interesting. And in character for him.
I don't know if he exactly is involved, but this has the sense of something he would do. As for any others, perhaps Elspeth's group has decided to throw their hands in the ring and have one of the strongest demigods on their side. Or maybe the Order of the Broken Eye did this. Anax has completely disappeared from everyone's eyes. Krufix has scattered his hands across the entire realm and not been able to find him.
Oh wait,
is that the next thing? We obviously can't just... If we're forced on this path, and I grit my teeth as I'm saying that, what would be... what happens next? The only thing I could think to do would be to try to further track down Annex, further track down the book, something along those lines. That's all that seems to...
Tracking down the book and tracking down Annex do seem like reasonable paths. If you wanted to prioritize one over the other, I would recommend tracking down the book. If they attempt to summon Pelucranos again, there's probably something in that book that they need, if they had it so close at hand, and it'll probably prevent them from pulling any other powerful beings to this realm.
And then there's this going on in Meletis with the Kraken reappearing.
Tromokratis currently rests. More than
but not for long.
If Uro breaks his chains, Tromokratis will probably waken. But it will take something on that scale to make that Kraken act again.
When we were speaking with Metamai, something else came up. Potentially that this all was just a setup, a screen, a front for something else that's happening. Do you have any insight on that?
She looks at you, Tassus. That is something I can't answer. Only 2 people in this world know that secret. I am one, and Krufix is the other.
You know, but there's gotta be... I mean, like, you could tell everyone else to leave, and I could be like...
Krufix has not deemed you worthy.
Oh, for fuck's sake.
Gut punch.
Fine. Great. Love working with no information.
You will find out the secret that is being kept from you as you become stronger. Proclaim your faith, do more acts, show your true devotion, and he will give you the secrets. You will be given the knowledge I have.
You see Tassus just fidgeting and cringing like this is the most... Like doing this is gonna be like passing a stone for him, is what it seems like. Sure, I'm already this far in.
I don't know, Tassus. I'm kind of excited. I feel like we've learned a lot between Medomai and Kaidel. Thank you so much, dear. You've been very helpful.
She nods. Now, I believe your friend Mikhail could use some welcome company.
Oh, Tassus, sounds like it's time for the party.
Was there a party?
I have no idea, but I'm excited to find.
I mean, the chance of one, certainly welcome.
She's about to drop a reveal.
Oh shit.
Anax, the king of Akros, and demigod to Perforos.
See, I knew his name was familiar.
Wait,
how does a demigod just disappear again?
We don't know what happened. And at your comment of the hell, she has a slight little smirk on her face.
Oh.
I told you there's many that you don't know in this world, Tassus.
You're just doing this to spite me now.
Well, to help our quest, perhaps you could give away just one of your secrets, just this one.
Are we?
It's Kruvix. We're not gonna get anything out of that.
Are we even there to be able to go there? Because I don't think we're there to go there.
You don't think we're what?
At that point, I'm talking directly to her. I'm like, you already know he's a handful. Stepping into Hill's realm off the bat is...
Right, which is why we're after the book. We don't have to chase down a demigod right now.
I have a feeling that chasing this book, considering it might belong to something related towards Elspeth, might lead us to where we might find some ideas to where Onyx is. This happens to be Erebos' domain. AKA, we're going to hell.
I do have another course that we could take, potentially.
What is it?
Well, who wants to go on a vacation to the Siren Sea?
Oh, I'd be down for that.
Go on.
Specifically to the Dakar Isles.
Why?
Because there's some tools that we'll need when dealing with the Titans there.
That's incredibly convenient. They're just there? I don't really know too much about those islands. So
Zolhus?
Well, I've never been myself.
Zolhus would be the one that would potentially know the most.
Oh boy, do I? Do I have a hidden lore page I can explain? Not kidding. As a sailor, I do have knowledge of the Siren Seas, and considering I was there, last night?
Well, also, one of the names of one of the islands in the Dakar Isles is Erixmethes.
I see. Well, let me just go visit my boss, Drop him a visit, say hi. See how he's doing. How's the family?
Oh, just the ancient terrible being that happens to be your patron. Is that what I'm hearing?
No one said he was an ancient terrible being. Who said that?
I did just now.
Well, you're wrong.
Terrell, I did.
I take full offense. I'm kidding.
I also need to, looking at the names, I think I need to brainstorm a last name for Tazos later, but whatever.
I am all for going to the Siren Sea. All for it.
Does it seem like it would be... Okay. So Titans are coming. There's Annex. There's the book. There's plenty of things we could be doing.
So here's my suggestion.
Sure.
To start in the immediate future by going to Mikhail's party and chilling. After that, I suggest we do a little preliminary research on the book, see if we can't find it, get a start on it, and right after that, if we do not find any further leads on the book, I think we could go with Hunter's suggestion and head out to gear up. Any amendments to this plan?
I completely agree with that.
Which is why we're gonna think of something else. No, Does that seem reasonable? I'm asking Kydell at this point.
She looks. You are in charge of your fate, Tassus, as well as your friends.
Great. Yep, that's exactly...
She 100% has a shit-eating grin on her face right now.
Yeah, and I realize that she's basically tossing my own words at me. And I'm like, yeah, okay. Alright. I get it. This is a lesson. I'm gonna learn it, I think. But, okay. So, so, that's what we're doing. It sounds like a decent enough plan.
She nods as all of you have decided on this course of action.
Have we? Yeah, we have.
I wish you luck on these endeavors.
It's not luck, it's fate, right?
You can't have one without the other. Now, go to your friend and get out of my temple.
Oof. I'm used to it.
Time as well.
That's a sign of fondness from her.
As they're leaving and kind of walking through the temple grounds, Dianera would keep an eye out for a particular god's temple. Does she see one like that, Tachi?
You see a symbol that you know can lead you to a place of reverence for him.
Him. That narrows it down.
I could also just be saying that just to give you a rabbit hole to fall down.
Yeah, but also fuck that, Tachi. I'm gonna find out. I'm gonna find out which god
I
Dianera
think Daryl is literally the only person at this
Doesn't
point
know.
who doesn't know.
Yeah.
What? Because I don't know the Theros lore. That's not my fault. But it is my fault.
Zolhus himself doesn't know Theros lore, and therefore he also would not know. Player-wise, I also don't know.
Player-wise, I also don't know.
I'm almost certain I've said it in the past, but like now that y'all are all ignorant of it, I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna milk this.
Two gnomes in a trench coat, Daryl. 2 gnomes in a trench coat.
Don't even start. Do not.
I've made occasional remarks about it, and
I feel like I know just from looking at him real quick, but I don't. Like, I can't confirm.
If you can make a guess, Andrew will tell you yes or no.
All right.
Harbor your guess.
Assume, based on what we've seen of Dianera, that it's probably Phoenix.
Got it in one, baby.
Got it
in one. Cool.
So, chat,
right.
Just now we can add the god that Dianera worships, Phoenix, the god of lying.
Oh god. Wait, you're not a follower of Thassa? I feel betrayed.
Betrayed. Every lie is an homage to Phoenix.
Quite literally, actually.
Yeah, because I'm looking at it right now, so yeah.
So yeah, you see something that you could potentially find a place to worship Phoenix at.
Alright. She will note that for later nightly shenanigans.
It's always nightly shenanigans if you... Oh, but alright. That explains... Not a lot, actually. Because I feel like I need to learn more of the lore. I should read up on the gods.
You should.
But okay, cool. We know that now. But, alright. So we're on our way to... out of the...
Mikhail's
whatever
house.
the temple area is, and we're going to see... Mikhail again.
Yeah. Excuse me.
Right?
As you leave and go to the familiar home of your friend Mikhail, that's actually where we're going to end session.
Oh.
and we'll get into your events at Mikhail's home next week.